Heartland is back with an episode that surprised many of us, unfortunately, not in a good way. Hopefully, though, episode 5 picked the story up from where it left off and make sure that Heartland will return to its glorious days. So, let's talk about it. This episode picked up right where we left off, when Caleb's plane started having engine trouble. For a second, it really felt like they might crash, but somehow, Caleb managed to land the plane safely in a field. The relief didn't last long, though, because they were completely stranded in the middle of nowhere. At that moment, I held my breath and thought, we are about to get a plane crash episode similar to the one we got in Season 3. But oh boy, I was so wrong. Back home, Amy was working with Dale's horses when he mentioned the missing plane. He promised to send a helicopter, but another emergency popped up and the rescue got delayed. As you can expect, Amy and Ashley weren't having it. They saddled up Dale's horses and decided to go find Caleb and Nathan themselves. Well, to me, that wasn't the smartest choice. But still, I get where they were coming from. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would have done the same probably. Plus, this wasn't the part that made me mad about this episode. Meanwhile, Caleb had accidentally drained the plane's radio battery overnight. Ashley had taken out the extra water earlier, and to top it all off, there was a bear wandering nearby. I mean, to their credit, the writers did their best to make sure the stakes were as high as possible. Still, they couldn't create a story that truly jumped us out of our seats, as they did in early seasons. Caleb wanted to stay put and wait for help, but Nathan, as he is the stubborn one, decided to look for water on his own. That, of course, went sideways. Caleb went after him, and Nathan ended up injured. I mean, are you surprised? Because I am not. In fact, I am disappointed by how predictable and boring the entire storyline was. Plus, what were those camera angles about? Like, certain scenes felt like they were filmed on iPhone or something, or am I the one who is picky? Let me know in the comments. One part I was particularly excited about was the argument between Nathan and Caleb as we saw in the trailer. And true, we did get an argument, but it wasn't as heated as most of us have dreamt. At first, the two of them were constantly clashing. For instance, Nathan couldn't help throwing a few digs at Caleb about being too close to Amy, and he even told her that both of them were still living in Ty's shadow, like no one could ever fill his place. Caleb, on the other hand, was just frustrated that Nathan seemed to overthink everything. But once Nathan got hurt, things shifted. They had no choice but to rely on each other, and little by little, they started to drop their defenses and work together. The thing is, though, this whole storyline developed so quickly that none of their clashes hit, at least for me. Like, for instance, I still can't believe that Caleb can simply say he sees Amy as a really good friend. I mean, what kind of a good friend tries to kiss you and be with you at all the opportunities he gets? What kind of a good friend puts you over his significant other? That's not friendship, that's swooning. In the meantime, again, to no one's surprise, Amy and Ashley's journey to find them had its own share of challenges. The horses didn't know how to move as a team yet, which slowed them down. But Amy eventually realized that they needed to ride side by side, not one following the other. And the moment she made that change, everything clicked, as if she is a magician. Seriously, like, no problem should be resolved this easily unless this is a children's cartoon. Like, what happened to Heartland? I am genuinely disappointed. We also got to learn more about Ashley this episode, and honestly, her story was genuinely sad. She's been through a lot since we last saw her. She has kids now, but her second husband cheated on her, and that left her with some serious trust issues. But I didn't like that they all pretended her trust issues were solely resulting from this past trauma of hers. Because, like, Caleb basically did not disclose his supposedly former feelings for Amy to her in the past episode. Are we all going to pretend that he did not do anything to lose Ashley's trust? Well, I know I won't. By the end, Amy and Ashley finally found Caleb and Nathan, and everything started to fall into place again. Basically, a happily ever after, except there were no major stakes in the first place anyways. In the next episode, we will see Nathan spending more time with the Flemings. Amy will have to face a career challenge. She will take the responsibility to take care of an Olympian's horse. But when she fails to find the horse's issue, the Olympian will start spreading rumors about her, damaging her business reputation. This will hurt Amy immensely. But Nathan will be there for her, trying his best to protect her from all these. Eventually, he will even hint that he wants to get married to Amy one day and be there for her at all times, in both and good times. Personally, I can't wait to see these two tying the knot and get a real happy ever after. By the way, in episode 4, back at Heartland, things took a lighter turn. Jack had hired a new ranch hand named Dex, and let's just say, he wasn't exactly ranch material. The guy had zero experience, didn't know how to ride, and pretty much stuck out like a sore thumb. Lou and Lisa couldn't help laughing. They both bet he wouldn't last a week. And when Dex said he had to head into town for an appointment, it just made things look even worse. And personally, these were the parts that I genuinely enjoyed to watch. And you know how normally I prefer Nathan and Amy's story over everyone else. Katie, on the other hand, was nervous about meeting her rodeo friends at a local saloon. She couldn't decide what to wear and was overthinking everything. Lou offered to buy her something new, but it didn't really help. Peter happened to be visiting, and after talking with him, Katie decided to just go as herself. No fancy outfit, no overthinking. Lou gave her an instant camera to take with her, which turned out to be the perfect confidence booster. Once she got there, Katie actually had a great time. She laughed, took photos, and started to relax around her new friends. And guess who else happened to be there? Of course, Dex, drinking beer with his buddies and trying to ride a mechanical bull. Katie wasn't exactly impressed, but you could tell the show was hinting at something between them for later. On her drive home, she spotted Dex walking down the road. He was drunk, lost, and determined to get back to help the old guy. The next morning, Jack found Dex asleep in one of the horse stalls. And yeah, he wasn't thrilled. But then we learned the truth. Dex had been injured in a hockey game, and that appointment in town was to find out if his injury would end his career. Sadly, it did. He went drinking to numb the pain after finding out he'd lost his shot at a scholarship. Once Jack realized that, his whole attitude toward Dex changed. And personally, I am glad to see that. I mean, needless to say, Dex and Katie are set up to be our new Amy and Ty. You might remember that in my Season 19 prediction videos, I revealed you that she will get a new love interest and will be set up to replace Amy one day. And that day seemed to have come. Personally, I always believe that Ty is irreplaceable. However, I still really like the character of Dex and am excited to see how the showrunners will play this romance out in the modern times. For more weekly updates, discussions, and analysis on Heartland Season 19, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.